This is John. John is a know-it-all. When you talk about financial markets with John, all he can think of is the stock market, money, bad people, activities that are not socially responsible, and so on. This is the result of how the mass media portrays financial institutions as well as the misconceptions people usually have. So here's to the Johns out there. Financial markets make the world go round. You need them to have access to things like pensions, savings, insurances, loans, exchange of currencies, and so on. Which means that when you buy a house, when you use your credit card, when you exchange currency in another country, when you get a health insurance, when you buy your favorite gadget at the local store, or when you plan your retirement, you get to deal directly or indirectly with financial instruments. Bonds and stocks represent a small part of the transactions in financial markets. Derivatives, on the other hand, are the most traded in terms of volume. Now, bonds, stocks and commodities are what we call tangible assets. A stock, for example, represents ownership of a small part of a firm. A derivative is a financial instrument whose value depends on the price of an underlying asset. This asset can be a tangible traded one, like bonds, stocks, or commodities, but can also be weather, electricity, the amount of snow falling, the price of hogs, etc. Derivatives can be used to transfer risk in an attempt to reduce it, or what we would call to hedge. And this is what makes it possible for the risk-averse middle-class people to have access to the different services we have talked about before. Derivatives can also be used to speculate by being on the other end of a hedging contract, meaning that we, middle class, need big financial institutions to bear the risk for us. To sum up, thanks to the financial markets, and more precisely to the derivative products traded in them, we have access to different services. But does all that really mean that everything about the financial markets is fine? Well, the answer is no, simply because in each and every field we can find selfish, greedy and bad people. This is the reason why we have something called regulation. Next time you decide to talk about financial markets, think of yourself. Or at least, think of all those middle-class people who do not hesitate to get loans, even if they have a weak solvability, to buy a house with a picket fence, a dog, a family car, holidays abroad, etc. The nature of the world we live in is such that one has to pay for his ignorance. The goal of this YouTube series is to make the information accessible. So don't be like John, make sure you know what you're talking about.